Hello there gorgeous gamers, and yes you are gorgeous, and welcome back to another Pure Play TV video review, and today we've got Praetorians HD Remaster for PS4, Xbox One and PC. This review is based off the PS4 console version, played and captured on PS4 Pro. As I have said many times in the past, RTS games and consoles don't often mix that well together. The natural home of a good RTS is on a desktop. It's where I was first introduced to the likes of Age of Empires and Command & Conquer, and it's where I have some of my favourite gaming memories. Even now, I still stay up really late into the early hours of the morning, just like I did as a kid, sat hunched over my desk in the dark with snacks littering the desk, getting far too involved in a war that I know I won't see through to the end. It's actually rare for me to finish a match against the AI in Age of Empires. I just enjoy the long hours spent building up my town and protecting it with a massive army. It's kind of relaxing. Before we carry on with this video review, if you haven't already done it, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Also hit that bell icon and you'll be the first to know when we've got new stuff for you to watch. Cheers my dears! Praetorians is an RTS, but it's not like the ones that are best known. Rather than having you collect various resources, build a town, advance your culture and eventually, or in my case rarely, go and have a big war, Praetorians takes a more streamlined approach. For one, there are no resources to gather. There are also no individual units, aside from the scout, as soldiers are bundled into groups. This sounds like a nightmare to every RTS fan who wants minute control over their armies, but it's fine. You can split your groups into smaller groups, which is essential, and merge them into larger groups if you need to. It means you won't be moving singular units around, but you can still fine-tune a flank with small groups that can be easily managed. And easily managed they are, thanks to the game's intuitive controls. I'm always a little nervous when I boot up an RTS game on console for the first time, because you never know if the controls are going to be an utter nuisance, or if they'll be good enough. Rarely are they excellent. Praetorians isn't quite excellent with its controls, but it comes very close. The opening story missions are your tutorials, and here you'll learn the basics to help you move your army around, attack enemies and gain new troops. The tutorials are lengthy, though not entirely required if you're already familiar with the original version of the game. I wasn't, so I had to do some learning. Thankfully, it wasn't all that difficult. Even when I wanted to divide a large group and send them on different paths, I could do it quite easily. Of course, it is likely to control better on PC with a mouse and keyboard setup, but for a console RTS, the controls are far from the worst I've seen. So, without resources, how do you even build anything? Well, you don't really build much at all. You take over towns and build a garrison nearby, and maybe some defensive towers. Then, you move your officer within range of the town, and those villager numbers can be turned into new recruits. It's simple, it's easy to follow, and it's actually quite fair. Each map has a number of towns on it, and what you want to do is get your hands on as many as possible. The more you have, the quicker you can build a nice big sexy army. The catch is that your enemies are also trying to do the same, meaning you'll come into conflict often. This is where Praetorians takes a turn away from the traditional RTS conventions. In Age of Empires, I'm always comfortable. I quickly get workers collecting resources and I stockpile enough to build an army quickly. Then I expand my town, I build walls and other defences to slow down the enemy if relations break down. I chill out a lot of the time and even set up remote bases just for the fun of it. I rarely go looking for a battle, instead enjoying the peaceful but well defended existence of my town. Praetorians does not have time for that, none of it. You're forced to go out and explore the map. In fact, one currency, honour points, which are used to build specials, can only be gained through battle, meaning that you're going to have to go out and look for a fight at some point. You're not allowed to relax and take it easy. You're commanding an army and armies fight wars. And, to the game's credit, it does at least make those conflicts worth looking for. Not because of sweet oil, but because it's actually good fun if you fancy yourself as a bit of a tactician. The game makes use of long grass where your troops can hide in wait. There are also thick forests where you can't see through the green canopy. Elevation plays a big role too, with the highland affording the holder a clear advantage. Well, so long as it's your archers on the highland and not your regular infantry. They don't even try to throw stones. Pathetic. I would have at least tried to fling some poo. There's a big emphasis on tactical maneuvers and careful planning. Barging into an enemy town might work in other RTS games, but here it's often a quick way to a cheap death. Using the environment to your advantage, sending a scout ahead to find ambush locations and choke points, and managing the numbers are the ways to victory. Well, that and a bit of luck. I'm a little annoyed at myself that this is the first time I've played Praetorians. It originally released back in the early 2000s, just around the time when I was nerding out with my very own PC in my bedroom. I loved RTS games and classic action games like Commandos 2 and Robin Hood, so I wonder why I never sought this one out. It's got a full campaign as well as multiplayer and skirmish modes. I spent most of my time in skirmish, just as I do with every other RTS, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'd have liked to have seen perhaps more detail on maps, but for the most part it looks quite good and it runs really well too. Praetorians won't blow your mind, but it might give it a bit of a workout. It's a thinking person's game, and quick decisions and tactical prowess are the qualities you need. You've either got it or you don't. Basically, it's not a game for idiots. I am the exception to that rule. And there we have it, another review just for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. If you did, drop a comment, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, blah 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 blah. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous. I'll see you next time. Bye!